do you have for us in critical thinking?
Well, it's football season, so, the bowl games are on and the Super Bowl is coming up. So I thought about Super Bowl risk and reward bets. And I know we covered this last year, but if you weren't watching last year, we're going to cover it again because it's a great risk and reward scenario. So you probably know that I like to think in probabilities and then compare that to what others are thinking. So when you think about it, an example is an even money bet in a Super Bowl is Team A plus 7 points or Team B minus 7 points is where Vegas would set a line. I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yes.
That Team B is better than Team A, and you either take away 7 points from Team B or you add 7 points to Team A, either way, to make a fair bet. And a fair bet is a coin flip. It's a 50-50 bet. So Vegas is trying to put the money on both, even money on both sides. That way, they just make the spread in the middle.
Well, what if you think the line is correctly priced?
Well, so that's it. If the line is correctly priced, it's a coin flip. So don't bet. That's where people get in trouble, is they always feel like they have to bet. So if Vegas is really good at setting an even money line, where it's half money on one side and half the money on the other, that doesn't mean half the people aren't wrong. So you have to come up with your own line. So when you think about the game that's coming up, whatever it is, if you think Team B is not as good as it might be, and so instead of a 7-point advantage, it should be a 3-point advantage. Well, now you've got a question of mispriced risk and a bet that isn't 50-50. If the bet isn't 50-50, yet the payoff is 50-50, then you make the bet. So if it's a coin flip and you get $1, I get $1, forget it. If it's coin flip and I get $10 if it comes up heads and you get $1 if it comes up tails, that's when you bet. So
well, I'm not betting.
That's right.
But
that's
you
right.
are.
Yeah, but I would be. So if you look at the odds in football, and the Vegas line is Team B minus 7 points, but you don't think Team B is that good, and you'd only give them a 3-point advantage, then you go, oh, okay, so Team B isn't that good, so I'll bet on Team A. So it doesn't matter who wins the game, it's the difference in the line is how you bet.
Well, is that enough of an edge?
Well, that's the question. So now you have to think to yourself, if you think the line should be 3 and Vegas has it at 4, well, that's 51-49, right? So now is it big enough edge to bet? So the correct bet in that case, if you think it's 3 and Vegas has it at 4, you still bet on Team A. The problem is it's not a big enough edge to really bet big. The correct side, of course, would be Team A because it should be a 3-point spread, not a 4-point spread. But that's a tough call. That's up to you.
But you have to have a small bet just to make it interesting.
Well,
just to watch.
But when you're thinking of risk and reward decisions, always be thinking of betting on the side that has the odds in their favor. And so that goes through investing and all kinds of other things. And it also goes into Super Bowl betting.
Okay, and what's your takeaway?
So my takeaway is, if you want to make a bet on the Super Bowl or anything like it, do your own analysis and think about what a 50-50 coin flip would look like. Then compare it to the bet others are willing to make, and only bet on the side that gives you an advantage. That's a perfect example of putting the odds in your favor and making a good risk and reward decision.